Hey everybody, welcome to your weekly hype show. This is the Thursday show on wonderful Thursday of your week. Welcome. My name's Adam Camilleri. This is Dustin Henshaw, and we're joined by the effervescent. Was it Murder She Wrote? What's her name?
Murder
Angela
She Wrote.
Lansbury.
Angela Lansbury. Her name wasn't Murder She Wrote.
Yeah, but that was the show she was on
It
when
was
I
the
was
show
like
she was
8.
on.
I don't. So there is a film called the Court Jester where she was on, which was done in like the 50s, and my lord, she was a babe back in the day. My mum really liked that. I grew up watching that. There's your hot tidbit for today. But we are here to hype you
Legitimately
up for
hot
your
tidbit.
weekend's extravaganza of events. This show is here to be informative, to be educational, to be a little bit predictive and sassy, a little bit saucy, but also to inform you guys about the events coming up in your weekend of 40K. The edge of the cutting meta of competitive 40K. We're here to tell you all about it, hype you up, and inject you with some enthusiasm for all things good about our wide world of Warhammer. Dustin, you excited about this weekend? It's a pretty auspicious weekend, mate.
Yeah, you know what weekend that is? Well, next week anyway. But what about this weekend? What do you mean? Is there something this weekend? Is there something this weekend too?
Ooh, well, so we're actually not covering any events from this weekend. Aghast as you may be at home.
That's why I'm
covering.
confused.
We are covering an event that is starting mid next week, and it is the Warmaster GT, the WTC singles event. Now, what is this? What is this, Dustin? Are you able to explain to people what it is?
I am. So if you guys aren't familiar with the WTC, that is the World Team Championship with every single country that wants to send a team and can afford it can go. This is how many teams are this year? How many countries? I think it's like 32, it's 26.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. It was a little less. It was a little less than last time because of all the COVID stuff. A lot of people just they weren't ready quite yet, but we still have quite a few countries coming out there. The countries, they bring teams of 8 and they duke it out on the world stage against each other. But the Warmaster GT is where they get an attempt to just play each other in the singles too, which most countries will take as like a practice. Like, okay, because a lot of guys that are going to this, they've never been before. And believe me, if you've never been to WTC, you do not understand how high that competitive edge is there. It is so different from any meta you've been to, and you need to be ready for it. So playing as singles is amazing practice as well.
So first and foremost, they play on the differential system, as in like on the 20-0 system that you'd be used to playing in many team events. They play that in the singles because the purpose of the singles event is for people to get as much practice as they can on the tables they're going to be playing against, the people and the caliber of player they're going to be going against in the team event, in addition to getting a sense and feel for the different format and environment. It's such a cool testing pool. You really see some people shine in this environment and some other people maybe struggle if they're too used to other different modes of play. It's a weird thing going from playing ITC singles, as in like you only need to win by 1 point, and your 1 point win is as good as the other guy's 80-point win. It doesn't matter; they're the same thing. Whereas in WTC, you want the differential. You want to maximize the difference between your score and their score in order to get as close as you can to the 20-0 or to the 19-1, the 18-2, etc. And so you see people, some people shine in this environment, some people find it and struggle with it a bit more. I think it's incredible. It's one of the most unique events you will ever see in your year. And sans maybe the LVO or the LGT, this is the most per capita percentage culturally diverse metas we will find in the world. Like this is a true cooking pot of so many different environments. When else will you see Canadians playing with people from Eastern Europe, people from Italy, from Greece, from the UK, the United Kingdom, like just all pushed in, smushed in together and seeing whose 40K is better?
Yeah, exactly. It's all the metas of the world going into one single tournament, and it is amazing. It is the pinnacle for me of what I love playing 40K for. It is just so much fun. You learn so much from going there. You get put through the grinder there. It is an amazing event, and the people there are just amazing to play against. And as Adam mentioned too, this is the Thursday show. We do record this live, so we want to thank all the people that are joining us in the chat too. Tamagotchi Express, thank you. This shows to tell you who's going to win before it happens with 100% accuracy always. Exactly, you have that exactly right. Also been away for a bit. Has Adam lost weight? Did you lose weight, Adam?
I'm not sure. If I have, I have. If I haven't, who cares? Just want to be healthy, guys. That's it. Just want this old rig to carry me a few more events, you know. before it starts breaking down. We are covering one event and one event only this week. And usually you can tune in here either live or in post and watch us coverage 3 of the larger, more interesting events of your weekend. We are covering one and one only, and we are going even deeper than we've ever gone before with a whole new segment attached onto the end for us to trial and see how you guys like it. We'll talk about that more when we get to it. And at the end, we have our palate cleanser, our Fuego questions that are going to be shot out of the cannon at Dustin and I's faces by the lovely tech police Dicky, who is our producer. Jumping in, we're going to tell you about the state of the meta, what you're going to see at this. I believe it's 150 players, 7 rounds. It is 153 players, 7 rounds. The Warmaster GT from lovely Mechelen, Belgium.
Yeah, let's see who's going to be there. So, quick and dirty stats here. The Imperial Super Faction, 23 Sisters of Battle.
Yikes.
2 Custodes, 3 Cult Mechanic, 3 Admech, Adam. Let's say Cult Mechanicus every time. I'm going to mess up my tongue. 1 Astra Militarum, 9 Grey Knights, 7 Imperial Knights, Space Marines, there's 3 Dark Angels, 1 Space Wolf, 6 Blood Angels, 1 Ultramarine, 1 Salamander, 1 Black Templar, 1 Imperial Fist, and 1 Death Watch. Chaos, there's 13,000 Suns. 5 Death Guard, 1 Demon, and 9 Renegade Knights. Renegade Knights actually outnumbering the Imperial Knights by 2.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. The Xenos, there's 17 Necrons. Europeans love their Necrons, man. They love them, and they are good with them. 4 Orcs, 9 Tau. Hive Mind Super Faction, 11 Tyranids. Tyranids are not as prominent here.
Yeah,
still a lot, but not as prominent. Yep. And a Gene Stealer call player. Attaboy. That's what I like to see. Eldari, there's 5 Drukhari, 11 Harlequins, and 6 Suriani, which means the faction podium is Sisters topping out at 23, Necrons at 17, and 1,000 Suns with 13 in third. What do you think of the podium there? I think Sisters and Necrons are 2 of, if not the 2 best team differential lists in the game. So
they're the 2 best. They're the 2 best scoring factions in the game. Like, it's very hard to hear any arguments against that statement. They will score an average points of just above and beyond any other opponent's average points. Yeah, exactly. And the pressure's on the opponent to make sure that score doesn't occur. It's kind of nuts just how much board pressure they can put on you. 23 Sisters. That's a lot. That's a hell of a lot. Just quietly putting it out there. What is that percentage-wise of 150? 23.
25 is 25 of 125%, so it's just a little bit less than that. Then maybe 18%ish.
Yep. Now, see, this is so the meta of the singles, the Warmaster singles, is mostly people who are playing in the teams. So I did consider putting in the Space Marines as one. But then I was like, but then they'll just be number 1 on the podium. They're not. They don't. They make third on the Space Marine Super Faction, which we kind of just made up for this show because it's an interesting breakdown. Doesn't even get second place on this faction podium. Kind of crazy. And then it's crazy that there's more Necrons than all Space Marines put together, and there's a heap more Sisters than all Space Marines put together. When would we have ever seen that ever before?
Not this edition, that's for sure.
No, not this edition. It's absolutely crazy.
Any other time? I can't even think of another time that would really happen.
No, never. I don't think it's ever happened before. It was such a cool thing for me to point out. No real surprise in which Space Marine sub-faction made the number 1 there, the Blood Angels being number 1. They once again, for the same reasons as the Sisters and Necrons, they're the biggest differential getter on the 20 0 system. They're like, when they lose, they unfortunately tend to lose pretty big, but their wins are gigantic. They're oppressively potent when they're coming at you. Anything else here stand out to you as a bit of an aberration? I know you did mention the Renegade Knights to Imperial Knights difference. What do you make of that?
It's not a big difference. It's only 2, so I think that's like overall that's pretty. It's literally 1 player playing Chaos Knights instead of Imperial Knights. So it's not actually that big of a difference. So I think it's actually pretty even that way. And it makes sense because both of them have different plays into the 20-0 system. If I had to venture a guess of which one's better at getting 20-0s, between the 2 of them, I think Renegade Knights have a bit better option to do that.
Renegade Knights, when they win, will have a bigger differential. Because
exactly.
by the way they're winning is oppressive. Like the Blood Angels.
Exactly.
It's a pressure system. They're applying pressure to your score. Whereas the Imperials are very happy to sit on their side of the board and rack up a nice baseline.
That's what I was going to say too. Like the Imperial Knights, they're more like they'll win more of their games, but their wins won't be as big on average as the Chaos Knights would be.
when we talk about it in the traffic light system, we're like, there's way more greens and reds for Renegade Knights, and there's a crap load more yellows for Imperial Knights. Like,
Mhm.
so Imperial Knights are very happy to be in that middle band of like, we're somewhere even Stevens with this opponent, but they're not going to blow us out. We're not going to blow them out. Whereas the Renegade Knights can be seen to be a win big, lose big proposition for a lot of people.
Exactly. Yep.
Which then it comes down to player skill. What do you make of the T Suns, man? It's
T-Suns
interesting.
doesn't surprise me either because they are a good team list. I feel like they're almost like the new Dark Angels to me. I feel like
I
they're
100% agree. That's
like
exactly what I
yeah,
was going to say.
exactly. Like I feel like they're the defender list that like we will get points. We won't win or lose big, but we will take one of your big scores out of the equation.
Every person's 8-pack WTC team, they need their attackers. Okay, cool. Who are the best couple of attackers? And then you have to go, well, who are the best couple of defenders? And T-Sun 100% is one of if not one of the best defender, I believe, in the game. So therefore makes a lot of sense.
Durable, scores points, doesn't have to engage with you, but can if they need to. So they have a lot of options there. It just makes sense.
Exactly right. Some other little aberrations here. Harlequin's at 11, over and above Asuriani. So I don't know if people quite know how the WTC works, but you can only take a codex once. You get one of each codex. So that means you only get one of either Asuriani or Harlequins, or you can make one Eldari soupy, fun pile. But when you take Harlequins, that means you're not taking Asuriani. And I would have thought we would see either 50-50 or Asuriani a little bit more than Harlequins. But seeing Harlequins almost double Asuriani, that's very interesting.
I feel like the Harlequins now with some of their secondaries too, I feel like they actually are better at scoring than the Asuriani are now.
I agree with that, but they don't. It's an interesting difference. I feel like the Harlequins are almost a defender because of how much score they'll put on you.
Yeah.
But they'll give up a lot of points in the journey. Like they'll give up kill more, they'll give up grind, they'll give up some bring it downs, whatnot. I've seen some Harlequin lists that have 9 Star Weavers in it, like 9. Like 9 5-mans in 9 Star Weavers. They're taking a battalion and a patrol of light.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
like,
that's all you need.
It's the whole list. Yeah.
Gives you your tools. It doesn't give up anything but grind, really.
No, and it's not that. While it does have some finesse in what you can do to your opponent, it doesn't have like the crazy, oh no, I effed up playing Halo Doom and I lost the game kind of effect.
Yeah. Well, the difference with the Asuriani specifically right now, because they lost their Fire and Fade, and it's not as reliable to do it with just the battle focus. Like it's when you're using a Hail of Doom list, which is still probably the best.
Yep.
Like the best way to play Asuriani, right? But if you're playing that Hail of Doom list, it means that when you start committing to kill stuff, you are committing to being killed too.
Yes, exactly right. And in addition, I don't know if you've seen WTC boards, but the fact that the Halo Doom list lost the ignores cover, and I'm going to tell you there is a godload level of cover on some WTC tables. If you just rock up and you're like, well, I'm playing against Sisters, and their whole army is in cover with freaking Armor of Contempt. Guess my army doesn't do anything anymore.
Yeah, like you look at that, it's like, oh, they're all T3s. Like, yeah, but they all have a 2-up save. So
they all have a 2-up. Oh, cool! I got a rend. Now they have a 3-up save because cover takes off 1.
Oh, you need 2 rend, really?
Yes. Oh, yeah. It's really rough. Anyway, we're going to talk about some of the top players in attendance because we're only covering one single event. I've pulled out 5 lists for your viewing pleasure, and of course, I pulled out some of the top players in attendance and the top players in the ITC rankings. There is one gentleman in the top 10 playing in the singles. Next week is going to be really interesting. Next week, we're going to be doing this exact same show, but the whole show is going to be dedicated to just covering the WTC, like the international championship. So we're going to be going through and talking about, different APACs and what archetypes, and then we're going to talk about some matchups, as in nation versus nation matchups. First top player in attendance from the ITC is Inez Wilson, currently ranked 6th in the world. He's the captain of the national team for Scotland. He's playing Tyranids. He's playing High Fleet Leviathan. Starts off with the battalion. He's got a Flyerant, a Neurothrope, and a Broodlord for each HQs. He has 10 Gargoyles, 2x9 Warriors, which I personally think is the correct amount if you're going all in for the team-sized list. 3 Zoanthropes, 3 Venomthropes, 3 Tyrant Guard, and he is still taking 2 Harpies, which I know he swears by and he adores. What do you make of this? It seems pretty lean It seems like it's got 2 big units of warriors and then some bits and pieces.
It is very lean. He looks like he's added the Broodlord and maybe a few warriors, because he used to have the Tyrannosaurus with Pyrovores. It looks like he's gone away from that now. Just go back to the Harpies and the standard 3 Zone Throws, 3 Venom Throws, 3 Tyrant Guard. I love the 10 Gargoyles. I don't know why more people in NIDS don't use them. I feel like they're an amazing tech piece. They're such a good tech piece. Like you said, the 2x9 warriors, that is the correct number for sure, especially in Leviathan.
Yeah.
Then obviously you have the Flare, you have the Neurothrop. The Broodlord I've seen more of lately.
So do you understand what the Broodlord's there for?
I'm pretty sure that's the one that gives light cover. As the
yes, but he's there to do your psychic secondaries.
Yes.
You need to have your onslaught and your catalyst being cast every turn, so that's a minimum of 2 casts. Your flyer can't always be dedicated to go and doing a psychic secondary, or your Neurothrop, who's your buffer or debuffer. So they needed a third psyker, and they're like, well, which one has the most upside and which one has a decent synaptic link? And they're like, the Broodlord makes the cut now, and I'm here for it. I think he's good.
Question in the chat there. Do the players play their tournament list in the singles, or are they playing something else so they don't give up any secrets or tech? That varies player to player. You don't have to use it.
Yeah.
It's entirely up to the player.
It's entirely up to the player or the nation. In Australia, we played the singles in 2019, and we learned some lessons from that, because we had a lot of spicy tech and lists and faction specialists that were playing factions that was very specific to the Australian meta. And by playing those in the singles, we all got scouted, and we feel like it hurt us more than it helped us. And so now we're like, if we think we've got a faction specialist on a list that no one else has seen, they can play the singles, but they can't play that list. And I've got an example of that. I've got an example of that coming up. I know the English team is just not allowed, and the American teams are just not allowed to play singles. They're just not allowed to. Like, they'll play some practice games on some empty tables and whatnot, possibly to get in touch for the terrain and the missions. But certain nations just put you under the kibosh for playing the singles. And other nations say, you can play, but don't take this and this and this out of your list, or change it by 200 or 300 points. It really is quite interesting to see how seriously some nations take it and some nations don't. And I love it. I love unpacking how people approach this event differently.
Oh yeah, they all approach it differently for sure. I think because they all have different idea of it. They all have different metas too, like you were saying. So if you go into a singles event with a list built for your meta, you find out what the actual meta at the WTC is like. So I'm curious, and like, you actually think that you got scouted and that hurt you having those faction specialists using that list in the singles before going to the teams?
100% psychologically it hurt us. So a guy, the best player in Australia for 2019, probably for many years before, his name's Eric Lathuris. He was playing the Gaunt Carpet. The Gaunt Carpet. No one else in the world could make this thing work, but he went undefeated with it for 9 freaking months, essentially. He took that and played in the singles. Sean freaking Naden, the captain of Team America, came and just sat at his table for 2 hours and watched him play, because no one else understood it, and then Sean walked away understanding why that list works.
Okay, and that's pretty clear, Scout.
Yes, we didn't play America that year, but we're like, oh my god, if we did, that would have hurt us badly. We can't let that happen. So when the captain of another nation comes and just watches you play for like hours and just analyzing, like Sean Naden just looming over your table, Eric's like, this is bad. This is should I just scoop now? This is, oh my god, it's going down the drain. Psychologically, it hurt us, and it could have hurt us. That's my best example.
Okay,
I have for why these things can happen.
I could see that too. So, but you're talking about like very specific faction specialist lists with lists that you do not see normally. So, if somebody goes in, like, let's say like a standard G Sealer Cult list, it's not going to be like somebody sit down like, oh, I wonder how he plays this. Like, I know how G Sealer Cult play, but
you're playing Bloody Rose, no one cares.
Yeah, no one cares. All right, whatever.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. When you're playing really obscure stuff and you're a faction expert in your meta, you don't want to give away the goodness. You don't want to give away what makes that army tick. I've got an example below where another Australian gentleman, his name's Liam Hackett. He's one of the best players in Australia by far. He's an absolute savant and a gentleman, an actual doctor as well. Whatever. He's playing Necrons for the singles and for the teams, but his Necrons, his singles list and his teams list are very different, and we'll unpack that later for you. Next, top player in attendance. This is Liam VSL. He has been coined as one of the WTC Team Belgian Wonder Kids. So this was pointed out by the lovely Neil Kerr. I texted Neil Kerr and said, "Oi, who are some amazing Euro players that I may not have heard of that we want to highlight. So during the dark days of COVID, there are some people who jumped on TTS and got good. Just like either that or they started playing TTS and realized a love or an affinity for competitive 40k. This gentleman, Liam VSL, is one of those gentlemen. He's called the Wonder Kid because he's one of the very few people who've had extreme levels of success on TTS and have translated that directly into straight regular 40k. He's playing Harlequins. He has a light Sadith. Now, this is the list I was telling you about before, mate. He's got a battalion and a patrol. He's got a Shadow Seer, a Troop Master, 6 units of 5 troop, 2x2 Skyweavers, a Death Jester.
It's not all that is then. You lied to me.
6 Skyweavers. He's got a patrol with another Shadow Seer, 3x5 troop, and another 3 Star Weavers. So essentially 9 troop and characters in Star Weavers plus 2x2 Sky Weavers. This is a pretty tidy package.
Yeah, it has all the tools you need in Harlequins. It's the downside about playing Harlequins, and the good thing about playing Harlequins too, is that there's not going to be that many things you can do differently. Like you might be able to like mass Void Weavers or something, or mass Sky Weavers if you really want to. But generally speaking, you're taking a Shadow Seer, at least 1, maybe 2. You might take a Troop Master, don't have to, but you can.
Yep.
And you're going to take troops and Star Weavers. Like,
correct.
That's just what you're going to have.
Ubiquitous. Absolutely what you can have. It's funny that there's some parallels. You've seen the Dark Angels list that are knocking about at the moment with all the speeders and the planes. And everything moves a bajillion inches and you just get angles on you no matter what you're doing. I feel like Harlequins can play that same style, right? Like you talk about the Storm Speeder Thunder Strikes that I love and I use judiciously, those speeders that always hit on 2s and stuff. There's quite a few comparisons that can be made between that unit and a Void Weaver. And a Void Weaver moves a bajillion inches to get angles and do all this crazy stuff. And in addition, you've got the boats, you've got bikes, Dark Angel's got bikes. So maybe down the road there is we come back around to a light Sadith Void Weaver-esque build. But right now, this is the way to go, especially for the differential. Mm-hmm. This list guarantees like 60 points just on the bottom. Like I will never get blown out. I'm just going to get 60 points. If you get more than that, cool. Let's see what the difference is. I think it's a great list.
Yeah, it's Harlequins. I mean, it's hard to make a bad Harlequins list. If you're a good Harlequin player, you're scary. You're just scary. Like they're very hard to play against like competent Harlequin players for sure.
The chat helping the chat. Tamagotchi Express just asked any weapons on those troops or they're just OBSEC. I believe there is 2 fusions on just about every one of them, and then there's a mixture. Some have nothing, some have some weapons. He's got some that, of course, are easily just going to be going out first turn trading units. Don't bother putting anything on them. They're just going to get blown up and dead. And then he's got some that are there to obviously do some heavy lifting. And then Sasneg is helping him out, saying this is the usual lineup that you take. So keep helping each other, chat. We love
chat helping chat. This is what we want, guys.
We love it. It's just a beautiful snake eating its own butt, you know? Just fantastic. Thank you, chat.
What?
next top player in attendance. This is
what?
Shush. It was funny. Move on. Jokul Johansson, WTC Team Iceland. He's playing Asuriani, Hail of Doom. He has a patrol and an outrider. He's got a Warlock Skyrunner, a Farseer, 2x5 Rangers, 2x10 Dire Avengers, 2x6 Wind Riders. His outrider consists of 3 Warlock Skyrunners, another Farseer Skyrunner, 9 Dire Avengers, 5 Howling Banshees, 2 units of 3 Shining Spears, 2 units of 9 Swooping Hawks, a Viper, and another unit of 6 Wind Riders. So that is your 3 units of Dire Avengers, 3 units of Wind Riders, some MSU bits and pieces in the Shining Spears, the Viper and the Howling Banshees, and then still 2 units of 9 Hawks. Like, this is a lot of stuff, and it is a lot of potency. What do you make of it, mate?
It is a little bit more what I'm used to seeing from the old style Halo Doom list, I think. It kind of reminds me what they used to be with the Ignore Cover. I do like the addition of the Shining Spears, though. I like the fast melee and a little bit of even strong shooting.
And with all the terrain at WTC, you need to go and dig some stuff out. You just need to be able to do it. Yeah,
I like that. I like the mass Wind Riders. I like the mass Swooping Hawks. Like I said, this looks more like the Asuriani list of old. When I say of old, I mean like
3 months ago. Yeah,
3 months ago.
Yeah,
but I like the style a lot better. it makes sense to me. It has all the Hail of Doom that you want, and I love the addition to Shining Spears. And I don't know why more people aren't still bringing Swooping Hawks. I think they're still great. So I like this a lot.
See, I'm in and out of love with Swooping Hawks. In teams, when you know you can pair away from, there's a good chance if you want to lean away from Armor of Contempt killing options, meaning like, cool, I'm gonna play into more mirror matches. I'm gonna play into more of, maybe Tyranids, etc., etc. 3 units of Swooping Hawks can actually just smash those games to bits. Like absolutely to bits. But Armor Contempt makes that stuff feel really bad, and the density of terrain makes them feel pretty bad too.
I get that, but it's their mobility and the fact that they can move like basically deep strike after they shoot. Like they'll get you points even in those matchups. They're not doing damage. They'll do your actions and still get your points. I feel
that's what I mean. Like one or two squads is never going to be a bad idea, right? Like one or two squads, you're never going to be like, oh no, this is useless. It's a thing that just does what it does for 5 turns of the game. You can't put a price on that.
Like two 9-mans might be a little overkill. Like 2 6-mans probably all you need, but hell, still good.
Yeah, see, I really like that list. I think that list is even a good singles archetype. I mean, this is a singles event, but I think Jokel is playing the same list for the teams. Like this is an exact carbon copy. And yeah, if anybody wants an idea of what a really, really good and tuned Halo Doom list is, that's a great place to start. The only difference is whether or not you take.
There it is. There, now I'm pointing at it.
Huh?
I'm just making sure I'm pointing at the actual list.
Yeah, it's not that way.
No, I was pointing at the camera. You're not the list. That's the list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next
if you're
up
live, you know what was going on right now. If you listen to it afterwards, I'm sorry, guys.
Next up, we have Raphael Jaffre, a WTC Team France. He is a past WTC singles winner, so he has won this event in the past. He's playing Tau Empire and he's playing the Tau Sept. This is a very, very good all-rounder list. He's got a patrol. He's got a crisis commander with Anvar, who we're starting to see pop up a lot more. 10 Kroot, 2 units of 5 crisis suits, 4 Kroot hands, 6 Vespid. I mean, 6 Vespid and a Hammerhead. And then he has his second patrol, another crisis, the second Hammerhead, 10 Kroot, 4 Kroot hounds, another 6 Vespid. So that's 2 commanders, 2 crisis teams, 2 Hammerheads, 2 Vespid. He just likes two of the good units.
So, did most of the Tau players basically just say, "Oh, you're gonna increase the points on crisis suits? Fine, I'll only take 2 squads of 5 now and get rid of the drones."
Exactly.
Is that all that happened?
That's
what it looks like.
everyone dropped around about 5 guys. Whether that means you take like 3x3 crisis teams rather than 2 5s, or 1 5, 2 3s, or some bodyguards or whatnot. It seems to be around about the 9 to 11 crisis suits is what we're seeing, and then they've replaced that with at least minimum 1, if not 2 hamheads. I personally think 2 hamheads is the right number. I don't like seeing 3. I definitely do not like 4. If you're playing a really hard team skew, go for it. So just terrify the crap out of Knight players. Just be like, auto win, baby. If you're playing against Knights.
See, apart from that, you think that's the case, but Tau can still miss. Trust me, I know.
It's true.
We actually managed to pair our Tau with 4 Hammerheads into a Knight list in the first round, the last team tournament we went to, and he got beat up because he whiffed.
Well, that's a thing, yeah. Their business skill isn't that good. You still need some support. You still need a couple of marker lights. You still need some bits and pieces. Mm-hmm. I mean, Long Strike shouldn't miss, right?
He shouldn't, but he did.
With a reroll, and then wins on 2s. Like, he should be fine. He's a punk. I like this list. It's got all the right things in it. The Vespid is the one that gets me. I think the Vespid is in here to make sure he has a good R&D game as a fallback secondary, in addition to having can engage in all fronts in a pinch. But they're not a bad unit. I'm surprised we don't see Vespid more often. They're a spicy unit that can do some really cool stuff.
I think they're great, yeah. You know what? I think one of the reasons you don't see a lot of Vespid is that not everybody has those models.
Yeah.
I think they're harder to find. I don't think I've ever actually seen one in person, to be honest.
I have. I've seen. It's actually quite a lot in Australia. Of course, there is in Australia. We love our bugs.
Okay, sorry. I haven't seen a real Vespid. I've seen conversions. I haven't seen a real. Yeah. I've seen a lot of ones with those look like gargoyle wings. So that's not a Vespid.
Yes, that's fair. But yeah, once again, this is a really good list. And if anybody wants a good place to start with a Tau Empire All-Comers list, this is fantastic. It's got all the components that you'd want. Last list that we'll be discussing for the WTC singles is our man, the legend, Rickard Nilsson. He's playing for WTC Team Sweden. He's playing Colt Mechanicus, Lucius, Skitari Veteran Cohort, Single Battalion. Give you one guess what the HQs are.
Dominus Manipulus Marshal.
Correct. It's always the same. No variation shall be had.
I wanted to, because you were asking me, I wanted to say a named character. But I was like, nah.
Then he's got 2 units of 20 Vanguard, 2 units of 20 Rangers, and 1 unit of 20 Vanguard, and then 3 units of 5 Vanguard. So he's taking a lot of bodies. He's got 1 unit of 7 Rustalkers, so that's his only counter assault. 2 units of 4 Ballistari, and 3 Cerberus Raiders. I can tell you this is exactly the list that he's taking for the team's event also. 60 bodies, 60 Ranger bodies that are Lucius, that have the Veteran Cohort goodness for the extra invuln. It's a lot to chew through. The only criticism I would have is that I'd wish it had another unit of either Rustalkers or Infiltrators, just another counter assault unit. Because I look at this list and I'm like, if I'm on dense terrain, I can just push. I can just push on this army, and there's not much they can do to stop me from, kind of bullying the midboard. But this is I don't think people are ready for how much better the AdMech shooting got from just getting core back on the Ballistari.
I think this list. I think actually I have the same criticisms you do. I think it just doesn't have enough anti-melee, like counter assault, because it's going to be a defensive list because it has a lot of good shooting and a lot of good durability. The Rangers, those Ballistari, man, they're so scary again. But
2x4 gives me nightmares.
Yeah,
straight up gives me nightmares.
Only one squad of Rustalkers though being your only counter assault. Really, it's like, wait, 3x5 Vanguard. Those are infiltrators then, or are they 3x5 Vanguard?
They're 3x5 Vanguard. So 3 big blocks of 20, and then 3 units of 5.
So
it's
literally only the 7 Rustalkers is the counter assault then.
Correct.
That's a little scary.
It is a little scary. It just means that, so when I see a list like this, it makes me think we've got a very competent general who thinks it's worth it. The amount of damage and the amount of bodies he's getting in the exchange for the loss of counter assault is worth it, and that his captain, whoever's doing the pairings, has enough confidence to keep him away from things, say, like Sisters, that will just posture up and then just send in bombs that you can't really respond to. So I still think this is a very good list. Ricardo is a phenomenal general as well. He's going to do very well.
Yeah, no, it's still a great list. Because if it's the same list he's going to be using, it's going to be mostly practice anyway. So maybe see how he does into like a melee list. Maybe he'll be fine. Maybe he's got a plan, or maybe he wants to test that plan out so he can go into the team event and say, you know what, I actually can handle this.
I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing AdMech flyers again. Would you?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I think
if Harpies are still a thing, AdMech flyers will probably still be a thing. And I've seen a lot of Dark Eldar flyers start flying around too.
Exactly right. The Eldar are starting to take more flyers. The Harpies just never went away. Some Space Marines are starting to bring flyers. I mean, Dark Angels in particular. And then, I feel like we could see the AdMech flyers come back also. Like, we could have a little flyer meta, of course, with the cap of only 2 per army. Thank God. I remember 2019, last round at the WTC, I play against the Eldar player from Team England, and he's got 9 flyers. Just 9. Just 9 flyers. It's freaking toxic. It's just absolutely toxic. Anyway, that's their 5-pack of singles list we wanted to pull out for you and for your viewing pleasure. Next up, we have a brand new segment. So,
but we are going before we go to this brand new segment, we're going to take a quick break from hear from our sponsors here, because we are obviously a part of the Frontline Gaming Network. Adam, you trying to say something, or are you just doing yoga right now?
No. I'm zenning.
At Frontline Gaming, we make the best tabletop gaming mats in the universe. Our mats are durable, rollable, foldable, wipeable, and storable. Oh, and they look damn great too. Join the thousands of tournament regulars and garage gamers who use our mats to bring their gaming surfaces to life. To ensure quality, Frontline Gaming mats are custom made one at a time, printed with high quality ink. Our immersive designs stay crisp and are available in a wide range of styles and sizes. So whether you're playing a war game or skirmish game, whether you're fighting over an alien tundra, fantastical forest, or real-world setting, there's a great-looking battlefield for you. Our gaming mats are printed on extremely durable neoprene backing, so they won't slide around the table. And they're thick enough to stay flat, protecting what's underneath and allowing for slight uneven surfaces. We know from experience that an easily portable gaming surface is just better. Every mat comes with a sturdy nylon zip-up bag for storage and transportation. Whether your next battle is in your home or at the local game store, you'll be able to unroll your FLG mat and get gaming right away. Our products are all made and tested by passionate gamers at Frontline Gaming HQ, right here in the USA. It's time to take your battlefield to a new level. Frontline Gaming, champions of tabletop.
Thank you to Frontline Gaming, the namesake of our network, for the wonderful advertising. Hopefully you guys buy some Frontline Gaming stuff. Please support them as they support us. And we're going to jump into that brand new segment I was telling you guys about. So we are lucky enough to have the round 1 pairings for the WTC. And to extrapolate upon that, we have pulled out 3 spicy round 1 matchups to unpack with you guys. You know, from different nations, people from different nations playing each other, possibly for the first time, most likely for the first time ever, right? More likely than not, this is the first time.
More likely, yeah.
These two players have ever played each other.
Which makes it even more exciting, right? That's what's the
exactly.
whole...
We're going to see the mixing pot of metas and builds and styles of play. And yeah, there's a brand new segment. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. We're very much open to feedback because I didn't quite do this on the fly. It's something I've always wanted to do when we do have the round 1 pairings, but we don't really have time to do it when we're covering 3 events. So let's jump into that first one. You want to unpack the matchup for us, brother?
Do we go over the list? I can do that. So, what?
Resize.
Oh, wait for everybody that's live to be able to see that, right? Okay, so the first round pairing we had that Adam decided to pull out would be Liam Hackett from Team Australia against Gwillem. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Gwillem Dusosoy. Oh, jeez.
It feels.
I'm gonna stop.
Just so you guys know, it feels so good that I got to make somebody else do that.
I realized what you did when, like, after it was too late, and I was already committed to it. So, but Gwillem of WTC Team Belgium. So it is Necrons versus Sisters. That's Necrons Expansions Conquerors, the standard, against Bloody Rose, also standard. So the Necron list from Liam is going to be the Silent King, and then a battalion with 2 Crypto Thralls, Catacomb Command Barge, a Technomancer, 4x10 Warriors, 6 Locust Destroyers, and 4 Ghost Arcs.
Yep.
That's a warrior list with Ghost Arcs. I like that a lot.
Yep.
It is good at scoring. Like, this really good at scoring.
Yeah, this is not his team's list. He has fundamentally... I think the only comparison to this is his team's list. I think they're both battalions, or he's got a Supreme Commander and an Outrider for his team's list. But fundamentally different. This is a scoring machine list. It's built to do... is it Code of Combat? The one where the nobles get kills, whatever it's called. I called it the wrong thing last episode too. The one where the nobles get...
Code of Conduct?
Code of Combat. I don't know. Whatever.
Code of Combat.
It's a thing. The nobles get kills.
Yeah, that too.
The Silent King does probably have that. You want to sign up to the Silent King dynasty? He's got like this big thing of Code of Conduct. But yeah, it's built to just do all the amazing Necron secondaries in addition to that one in particular, to just pop off kills here and there. His opponent's list, the Sisters list, this is another one of the Belgium super kids. So they were sold to me by Neil Kerr. He's got a battalion, of course, is Bloody Rose. He's got a Canonist, Morven of Ireland, Celestine, 3x5 Battle Sisters, 5 Celestians, 8, 7, 5 Repentia, a Dogmata, 8, 6, 5 Zephyrim, 2 units and 9 Retributors, and a Rhino. So pretty conventional, larger units of Retributors, and very specifically numbered, specifically sized units of combat efficiencies with the Repentia and the Zephyrim. It looks to me like somebody's confident with their list because they're willing to take those, they're not all 6s or all 7s or all 8s. They're built for purpose. So yeah, I'm interested to see how this one goes. What do you make of it, mate?
In terms of the matchup right here, list to list, I actually feel like the Sisters have the advantage. However, I know how good Liam is. Mm-hmm. And this list can play really well too. But these are both armies that just score points. And correct. I just think that the Sisters list here has more ability to stop the Necrons from scoring than the Necrons
have to stop them. Yep. Yeah. I wish Liam's list had one punchy melee, like one unit of Scorpex. But I suppose the Silent King and the CCB both kind of function in that role. Because my issue is, like, if the Repentia go in and you can't shoot them dead for whatever reason, how do you get rid of them?
Yeah.
Like, Silent King goes in, and sure, Silent King will go in and kill them with the Fly Slash. They fight on death and they take a pound of flesh. You can't afford to do that twice. Like, you can't afford to do it 2 or 3 times.
No, you want to shoot them with warriors, so they're ghost.
Exactly
arcs.
right. Yeah, you want to shred them with warriors.
But
and they should. They really should.
In order to do that, you're going to have to sacrifice something because the Repentia aren't coming out unless they're killing something worthwhile. Probably.
No, that's true.
Actually, what are they even fighting? They don't, like, the Locusts probably, because the Ghost Arcs you probably want to fight with the Zephyrim so you get the reroll wounds, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh
be
no,
involved.
because the Repentia don't care about it because they're rooting on the sim anyway with the toughness. So you know what?
Yeah.
All that stuff just has a good profile for it.
It's
So
just all good. It's
yeah,
it's really going to be about. I think it's going to be about how Liam doesn't let the Retributors pop all his
yeah,
boats. If he's able to just get the bait the Retributors out with one boat, the reason so like they do the boats do the Ghost Arcs have have transhuman from quantum shielding and they have a CP strat for a 4+ invuln. They have the chance to not die to Retributors. Like they
yeah.
have a
I'm
legitimate
telling
chance
you
to
right
not die.
now, those Retributors should be targeting the Silent King.
100%,
100%.
100%. And Liam should not let that happen. He should be back of the board,
Exactly.
playing all to pieces. Silent King plays a shooting game for probably the first 3 turns, maybe commits turn 4 or turn 5, do a bit of mop up. Because what you really want to do, I mean, every time the Silent King shoots, it should be getting you 3 points on Code of Combat, right?
Yeah, he
Against
should at
in this
least 3,
matchup,
if not 6.
yeah, in this matchup, 100% every time he shoots, and same with the CCB. Like the CCB actually has good shooting versus sisters, so plan to max that, and then just play a 3 objective game and get and max. I can't remember which one you max by playing 3 objectives. Is it machines or is it treasures? One of those. It's really good. And then play banners maybe. Put up banners with your jump a unit out, put out banners, put another unit in, send out an empty ghost arc to contest an objective, etc., etc. That kind of stuff feels pretty good. I actually quietly really like Liam's list. It's going to be good where it's good. It's going to be rough to kill some things. Like there are some matchups where it just doesn't kill anything.
Yep.
Like I wonder how it goes versus T-Suns in particular.
Yeah, well, the thing he's relying on fast OBSEC. I'm going to deny your primary because I have Ghost Arcs that are OBSEC.
Correct. Yeah, correct. The Sisters list is just a conventionally very good, very well-built Sisters list. I am starting to not like seeing Celestine and Val in the same list.
Really?
I want as many trading pieces as I can. And for WTC, I actually like Celestine more. The 6-inch.
Wow.
The 6-inch heroic intervention. The fact that in the WTC pack she doesn't give up a big score on assassinate. She only gives up 3 points. And yeah, the reach she has, the ability to just reach out and res and die and come back and yeah, she's very good. And on dense tables, you don't get to shoot that much. A la the Morven Val buff on the Retributors isn't as impactful.
I get what you're saying too, and I can see where you're coming from. I still think both is actually Morven Val is so good. Just and you can throw her if she doesn't get any like firing lanes, you can run her up there too. She doesn't care. She will fight and stand on objectives in close combat. Like that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine because you have to put so much into her to deal with her. It's ridiculous. And you could roll hot on her and she just won't die. Or you could, have miracle dice.
Anyway, which I'm of course back in the Aussie. Liam's got this hands down. Yeah, of course. It wasn't up for debate, And don't worry, you're going to get your chance to do that in the next one. Are you going to go? You want to go against? Do you want to go to the Sisters?
Yeah. I because I think the Sisters list has the advantage.
I think matchup. I think list on list, the Sisters has the advantage for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, jumping down to our next one. Give us the rundown.
The next one we have very own Ridvin Skari Martinez from Team Canada playing his Drukhari Prophets of Flesh versus David Becker's Some Legend. What?
He wasn't from a team. I couldn't find his name.
He wasn't from a team. Just a local.
It's just local, just Some Legend.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just a local.
He might be playing for a team, and I missed it. So apologies if he is.
Playing Knights, Renegades, House Herbitrax. I think that seems to be the standard one too. So yeah, Skari playing his list that he's been kind of toying with, manipulating for the last couple of months as he's been playing all the team events. So it is a single battalion, Homunculus, Drazar, 3x5 racks, 2x10 racks, 10 Homoxites, 2x5 Incubi, 3x5 Grotesques, 5 Mandrakes, 2x1 Talos, and then 3 Raiders. That's the Drukhari list.
Really unique and interesting.
And it is quarters of the homunculi as well. So it's the Army of Renown.
It's a very grindy list. It doesn't get massive differentials, but it never, like I said, it never gets blown out of the water. And it can surprise you.
It absolutely can surprise you. And I'm near positive that's his exact list in the teams as well. So he's more, and it's because it's a grindy list and it's a list that you don't lose or win big with. It's the perfect list to bring to this because
exactly
great practice.
Exactly right. It's good, amazing practice. He's playing against, like we said, a House Herbitrax Renegade Knights build. It is super heavy detachment. He's got a single Rampager, who I believe is chilled up to the 9s. Then he's got 6 Carnivores, that's the double melee knights, and then 5 Stalkers in a unit of 3 and a unit of 2. The Stalkers are the ones that come with the Chain Cannon and the Slaughter Claw. So this is full melee. This is full yeet melee. It's one of the reasons I pulled this out. Firstly, it's a Canadian lad. We've got Canadians on the show. Wanted to do it justice.
A Canadian on the show.
But it's, we have a Aussie on the show, and I got
a producer that's Canadian too. Actually, we outnumber you guys.
Exactly. It's like 50% Canadian. This is a very heavy melee centric Knights build, and I actually thought it's going to be quite a spicy matchup for the coteries. What do you make of it?
So I've seen he's practiced into the Knights because Knights are a rough matchup
everywhere.
For him.
Yeah,
they are rough for him. The leadership shenanigans hurt a lot, but because he's gotten so much practice into it, and it's scary. I know him. He's ready for it. He knows how to play against it now. I was there the first time he played against it and got beat up and had the what was it called, the oh my god moment of
the
aha moment. Thank you. That's what it is. The aha moment of now I get it.
Yeah.
Now the list changed. Just a little bit, 300-400 points changed. All right, let's do it again. We're ready.
Well, so the issue with the Renegade Knights matchup is when you're an all melee army like this one is, essentially it has 2 Talos and 3 Raiders, the extent of its shooting. Apart from that, it's like whips in combat and just punching him. It just leaves you exposed to every debuff that the Renegade Knights can expose you to. I suppose he could be very happy he didn't bring 20-man rack units, because if you brought the 20s and they get shut down, that's such an oof. That hurts.
Which he was doing before, and then he played some Renegade Knights. Like, nope, not doing this.
Yeah, dude, exactly. That's what I saw. I'm like, well, it's a good thing he doesn't have the 20s, but the bad thing is his killing ability is literally do the grotesques land, pretty much. Do the Incubi and the grotesques each get to pick up a War Dog, essentially.
Yeah.
Because if he gets out-traded on those melee assets, he's going to lose the game. The other thing that's different about this matchup is it's very rare to see the Rampager. Usually you see the Desecrator or the Bomb. It's actually worse for Sky. This guy bought a freaking Rampager.
Yeah.
It's like quietly worse.
It's funny because, like you said, you normally see the Desecrator, the Abominant, and the Rampager. Either of those are they're still bad, but not nearly as bad. Rampager's like, well, that's the worst one for me. That is
like
the rarest
could
one,
have 21 attacks when it makes combat. Like, it's kind of nuts, and you still get in the rerolls against it and crap. At least I believe that's what he's got. So yeah, I'm tipping. I want our boy Scary to win. Like, please, Ridvan, do it for your peeps. But I'm worried. I think he might be going down round 1.
He's fine. It's Scary. Got it.
All right, so you're going for your boy. I'm gonna root for Scary, but I think the Knights might win. All right, what is the last of our matchups to unpack?
The last of the matches, we have Danny Porter from Team Poland and his Gene Stealer cult, versus Nicholas Goose and his Harlequins. So, guess who I'm rooting for? I'm sorry, but
who would have thought?
Sorry, Nicholas, but I mean, you're against Gene Stealer cult, and Danny Porter is the only Gene Stealer cult player in this event.
That's why he's on here, mate. You want to be unique, you want to be a snowflake, we will reward you.
That's right. You get rewarded
on this show.
And this is the list he's bringing too. Oh, you got something you want to say?
This is the kind of matchup I love to stream. This is a streamer's delight, because this matchup will just have crazy stuff happening all game, non-stop action, trading pieces, big plays. Who got the 1%ers to go their way? Like, it's good. It's such a GSC versus Harleys is like the dream matchup of fun and enjoyment and jank and interaction.
I could tell you firsthand, it is one of my 2 favorite matchups to play as GSC. The other one's Sisters. I love playing against Sisters.
What's on the GSC list?
The GSC list is Twisted Helix. Like, I can tell you right now, there's 30 Pure Strains in here for sure. So there's a Patriarch, Magus, 4x10 Acolytes. This is all a single battalion. 4x10 Acolytes, 5 Acolytes, 6 Hybrid Metamorphs, 3x10 Pure Strains, a Nexus, 3 Ridge Runners, 2x3 Jackals, 3 Goliath Trucks.
How does this come at you? It's got 3 Pure Strains or 2 Pure Strains and the Metamorphs in the trucks, I'm assuming, yeah?
So usually you'll have the Pure Strains. The two Pure Strains will be in trucks, probably. Maybe one. But it's going to be like the trucks in the list like this are going to be used as shotguns. It's because he has so many melee threats. He'll have either Pure Strain, like a Pure Strain in one, Acolyte in another one, Once they launched out, they get refilled by ones behind. So that they're going to be ready to go the next round. So that's what I mean by the Goliath shotguns. It's just slingshotting melee threats as you need them behind cover, wherever you need to be safe. I'm assuming one of the Acolyte squads probably has Trap Sprung to do the 3d6 charge.
Three of the 10-mans have all flamers. One
Even
of the 10-mans is kitted for bear, kitted with the saws, and then the 5-man's just a 5-man. So the 3 10s are there to harass your backfield and flip your objectives on you.
So the 3x10 Acolytes with flamers put a huge advantage in his hand against these Harlequins.
Against Harlequins, I agree.
Oh my god!
I totally agree. As soon as you get exposed, those hand flamers kill boats. They just kill boats.
Easily.
Absolutely waste them.
It's actually scary with the amount of damage they can do to those kind of boats. So
I really like this list. This is a very tuned. I believe this is. I please correct me if I'm wrong. I believe this is the same list as the one he's taking for the teams, although I might be incorrect. But this is a very good teams list as well because it is a. You can't be aggressive into me. This is how you blunt the way Blood Angels want to play, the way Sisters want to play, some Necrons as well. You put this I've got 3 waves of brutality if you want to come into the middle of the board and try and get your 100 points. I will smash you back again and again and again and again. And I like it a lot. I think it's great.
Oh yeah, it's a fantastic. It's a great Twisted Helix. That's exactly what you want. You have everything you need to fight pretty much anything. It is an all-comers list, really. It really is. So
apparently, we're getting told by a Facebook user the 3x10 flame acolytes will ride in the trucks because they can shoot out of the trucks.
They can shoot out of the trucks. There you go.
So cool. Doing drive-bys. Yeah, doing drive-bys. Let's break down the Harlequins list. This is a very conventional singles list. His name's Nicholas Gouse, OOS. Not sure how that's pronounced. Another gentleman who I couldn't find their name in the teams list, so it could just be a local legend as well. He's playing light Sadeth Harlequins. He's got a battalion, Troopmaster, Shadowseer, 3x5 troop, Death Jester, Solitaire, 5 Skyweavers, 3, 2, 1 Void Weavers for a total of 6, and then 3 Star Weavers to carry around the troop and the characters.
This is the differential that we saw that we were talking about earlier with the Harlequin list. This is the kind of difference you can make with the Void Weavers.
That's exactly right. And if you want to compare this to the Harlequins list we pulled out before, where one of those is obviously super tuned for teams, and this is obviously super tuned for singles. It's such a stark difference of just spamming different units. The Voids are going to have a bit of a field day here, I think. I think the Voids are going to pop off. They can pop the trucks very reliably and the Ridge Runners pretty well. Mind you, that's the Ridge Runners will have a say, right? The Ridge Runners killing all 3 Ridge Runners in one go, even from 6 Voids, isn't guaranteed, right?
No, it's not guaranteed. It's possible, but I mean, it also depends if they have the invuln in there. Maybe they roll a 6 up and get lucky sometimes. They have to get lucky with the shooting. Plus, he probably has the from all angles on there, so they're not going to be on the board turn 1. There's not going to get an option to shoot at them on turn 1. And if he does, they can fire and fade all game. They didn't get limited to that. So I'm assuming they have from all angles to avoid that. So they're going to get the first shot off every time. Yeah. And then because they have the stubbers too, those stubbers are actually going to do a lot of work into the Quins.
Dude, the stubbers and the flamers. They look so bad in so many other matchups. In this one, they look great.
Even the autocannons on the trucks are actually scary in this. They're going to be great at killing Star Weavers.
The sheer din of shuriken cannons is a bit of a concern. There is just a godload of shuriken cannon shots coming from this army. Anything that can be seen that isn't in a transport will just instantly vape for sure.
But
the GSC,
that's
right?
what GSC are used to, right? So
exactly. So this is a list where I think the other list we talked about, the one with the 9 boats and 9 troop, would be better in this matchup.
100%. Yeah.
Because they have the same, essentially even more shuriken cannon shots to pick up everything that comes out of a boat or comes out of the deployment zone for the GSC, but they've just got 9 freaking trading units every time. Yeah. And every one of their units picks up any one of the GSC units, just like the GSC units pick up any one of the Harlequin units. So then it becomes a beautiful cat and mouse of which like we said, which 1%er who made more 4-ups when they shouldn't have, had 1 or 2 troop left that kill most of an acolyte squad instead of dying and not being able to attack. That kind of stuff. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. In this matchup, unfortunately, because of the way this list is built, it's a great list against GSC. Those Void Weavers, I think, are going to be more of a liability than benefit for them. And once those troops and Star Weavers are gone, the game is going to start swinging pretty heavily into Danny's favor.
Yeah, 100%. And if you guys do not know, Team Poland, I'm gonna keep saying this. There's some beautiful stories about like European dynasty teams.
Yeah.
Team Poland is the most successful WTC team. The most successful. Technically, if you are grading WTC podiums as who is the best 40k nation in the world, Poland is number 1 in the world. Yeah. They have got more podiums and more WTC wins than any other country. So Danny is going to be an absolute monster.
Yeah, so to put it in perspective, it's going to be a good player. Like I remember actually my last WTC I went to, we got to play against Team Poland. It remains the best competitive game I've ever played at 40K. Like they are solid players.
They're really good.
They're really good.
On that note, I think we're both going for the GSC in this matchup. We're going to transition over to our palate cleanser. The crunchy bits are over, as Paul would say, and we're going to end on our 5 minutes of silliness, as we are wont to do. Somebody, we don't know who it is, has sent in a bunch of questions. We don't know what they are. Our lovely producer, Tech Priest Dicky, is going to join us with his Angela Lansbury's best impression to read out these questions for us, and we have 1 minute to answer.
Bonus points if you have a voice modulator for it.
I don't. Dude, that's the one thing I don't have over here.
How is FLG not invested in that? Like, it's such a trope of our shows, the Angela Lansbury.
Like, I'm going to give you 1 minute, though. I think that's fair, yes?
There's only 2 of us.
Yeah, there's only 2 of us. That's fair.
All right. First question. I'm just blowing by the Angela Lansbury thing. Preferred weapon for a zombie apocalypse?
I'll give you 1 million one ranged.
Okay, that makes it easier then, because I was gonna say thinking like I'd probably prefer a melee, so I don't need to worry about ammo. But if I get one of each, then
if you get one of each, like because obviously it's just gonna be like a machine gun with like unlimited ammo, right? It's the auto best freaking option.
Unlimited ammo. This is supposed to be real life zombie apocalypse, Adam.
Yeah, so machine gun with as many clips as you'll give me, and then a freaking baseball bat with nails on it.
Not the barbed wire?
Nah. It's been there, done that.
Too deep into the TV.
So I feel like nails get stuck. The barbed wire just kind of rip it off.
What's yours? 15 seconds.
I like a machete for close combat.
Nice.
For range, I would want something a little bit more reliable to kill things. Not this, because I think a machine gun you have to be a little more accurate. So maybe flamethrower.
Nice. Flamethrower's a good choice.
Cook your dinner with that too.
Yeah, true.
All right. What common store/location are you barricading yourself in for zombie defense?
I don't know if you are familiar with Australian schools, but many of them have very high fences, and I'd be going straight for my local school, who, funnily enough, put up the fences after some crazy stuff I did when I was there.
Oh, no. That's longer than a minute with that story.
I bet.
Yeah.
I think for me, it'd be one of the local universities, because they have everything you would need in there to survive while you're barricaded in there, and they still have a good defensible position.
Nice.
That makes sense. Probably Waterloo, because they got really good science labs there.
You're going to create a cure?
I will create a cure, but really, I'll probably just make some good, delicious food or something.
Oh, there you go. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna get 3 here. So, best zombie game, movie, show, book. Ooh, that's a lot.
Game for me is Silent Hill.
Okay.
Because it scared the absolute crap out of me as like an early teen kid. Terrifying. Really good.
Okay. Game for me is Left 4 Dead.
Really? Nice. It's a good choice. I was gonna say Resident Evil. Yeah, I'm surprised neither of us said Resident Evil.
Resident Evil is there, but I just Left 4 Dead. I replay the hell out of Left 4 Dead. Resident Evil I don't replay. I loved it and I played it, but I didn't replay.
We got to get through movies. You got to give me the best zombie movie.
I don't know. They're all kind of been done. It's hard, actually.
Zombieland, Bill Murray.
Absolutely. Yeah, sorry, Zombieland. Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
That was easy.
That was really good.
Yeah. That was a great one. I like that one because it made fun of zombie movies while being a zombie movie. I like that.
Ironically, your next question. What's your Zombieland rule for surviving?
That's hilarious.
Go ahead, Adam, if you have one.
Traps. Don't need to shoot. Don't need to fight. If you got traps, make loads of traps. Traps everywhere. Traps all the time. Your whole house and entire vicinity should be like Macaulay Culkin, but with deadly effect. It's Home Alone, baby, but worldwide. Be good at digging.
Be good at digging, huh?
If you can dig a hole, you can survive a zombie apocalypse. There's my Adams 101.
Always close your door when you sleep and never sleep with someone.
Oh,
that's
the saddest survival ever.
Celibacy.
I didn't say you couldn't do other things. I'm saying do not
become
sleep
celibate
and wake up, because if they die in the middle of the night, you're gonna woke up eaten.
I'm taking a piss. It's fine.
Okay. Warhammer character best suited for zombie killing.
Angron feels like it's like his best day on Earth.
I was gonna say Karn.
Yeah, he's like, this is great. Woo! Like skipping through
like,
the fields of zombies.
It would be a different day for them, but it would be okay.
Since we have so much time left.
Yeah.
Now, rules wise, best character suited for zombie killing.
Rules
wise. So somebody who's just got an ungodly amount of attacks.
Well,
so it's probably a knight, right? It's probably like a melee knight.
Punisher, Lehman Russ.
Oof, that's a good call. Yeah. Oh, one better. The Vulture. Because you don't have to worry about
zombies. Come down. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you have to just stay in the air.
That's not the Vulture.
Strafe.
Oh, what
Fire
the heck are they
Raptor?
called? No, Fire Raptor 2, but what the hell is it?
Yeah, Vulture gunship.
Fuego.
Is it the Vulture?
The Vulture.
I don't know, but I'm going on. Okay.
Somebody tell me what it is in chat.
You have to pick one, and I need the reason why. Survive zombies by going alone, forming a small tactical team, or creating a large commune.
I like company, so I'd probably go commune, but I think the second option is the best one.
Yeah, what I'd want to do is a commune. What I would do is a small tactical team.
Yeah, solo is a bad. You're just asking for
solo. You're dead.
You're dead, or somebody else is coming by and taking all your stuff.
Yeah, you can't do solo. In any kind of zombie apocalypse, if you're alone,
well,
you're
gonna go crazy eventually.
You will go crazy.
It's not gonna end up well.
Even if you do survive, you will end up just. I don't want it. Screw it.
Falling in one of your own holes.
Falling in one of your own. All the traps that you made, you're not going to remember where all your traps are, and you're going to fall into one of them, and you're just going to become a zombie anyway. And you did it to yourself.
All right, that's it. Have a good weekend, boys.
That is the end of our show. Thank you very much for everybody in the chat. You've all been amazing. Thank you very much for Angela Lansbury showing up and carrying the 1 hour program for us. We couldn't have done it without her. Dustin, anything you want to say before we check out? What faction's winning the GT?
Obviously, GC. Sorry, no. Sisters.
Well, it's obviously sisters because there's 23 of them, right?
Sisters are probably going to win. That they just have the tools to do it. If it's not sisters, it's going to be Necrons. But I'm saying sisters because they have a higher number, and I've seen a lot of players in there too. So it's probably going to be sisters. But good luck, everybody, at the WTC Singles event. We will be talking about the team event next week.
All next week. I'll be there. I'll be streaming from there on this show. The day before I start playing games at the event. I can't wait.
It's going to be awesome. So
love you all. Thank you for all the amazing support in chat. You guys are legends of the community. Couldn't do it without you. You guys are literally the fourth presenter, or third when Angela's, giving us the silent treatment. Thank you very much, Dicky, as well. Dustin, good night, mate.
Good night. See y'all next week.